Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
So I went on a buy today, Mr. Magazine.
So I've heard.
Luckily, it wasn't now. We are in the middle of a snowstorm out there. Luckily, it wasn't now. But I want to tell you a little bit about the buy, and we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
So I went out there to people that watch the live show. You have a general idea of what happened as far as how I got the buy and all that. But long story short, is an estate sale that I go to regularly. While I was at the estate sale, one of the guys that works for the estate sale company said, "Hey, has my buddy contacted you?" And I said, "No, not yet." Got a text not 2 minutes later from his buddy. Oh, cool. So then I asked him, "Hey, how's this guy to deal with? He's easy to deal with, whatever." Okay, great. So I ended up, contacting the guy back. Yeah, definitely want to set something or other up. We set something or other up for the day that we're shooting this. Funny thing, old school guy. Last thing that he sent me his address. We set the time up and everything. Last thing that he sent me, I don't take any form of electronic payments. What does that mean, Mr. Magazine?
He's probably a cash guy. He likes his cash.
Wait, you mean I shouldn't come there with my checkbook?
No, that's not electronic.
I know, but I don't think he'd want that either.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
If it did, it'd probably have to be made out to...
Well, you should have brought it just as a joke. So, I thought you were talking about Venmo and Stripe and whatever else.
Should I make it out to your friend Johnny Cash?
Yeah, exactly.
So I ended up going over there, and it was a house, and it was the first time I'd ever been there, so I showed up a few minutes early, texted him. I had thought it was, just for the location, I thought it was like a little warehouse kind of deal. No, it was a house. And then he goes, "Oh, you can come on up." Park in the street, driveway's not shoveled at all. I'm like, oh, geez. Coming up through the snow and the ice, make my way into the house, or make my way there. Everything's in the garage. What was the temperature today, Mr. Magazine?
Gosh, 20, in the 20s, low 20s, something like that. And it was windy, so it felt even colder, but go ahead.
Everything was in the garage. Garage door open. Dude standing there in shorts.
I love those guys. You see them outside all over the place. It's like, I'm a short guy, like shorts. And sometimes they have a hoodie, so you want to keep your upper body warm.
That's actually exactly what he had.
And your lower body cold. That's the best.
Were you there?
No, but I see a lot of guys at the gym like that, like walking in from outside, no coat. Sometimes I don't want to bring the coat in either, but I get it. But the whole shorts thing is weird.
And his son was there. And his son just basically hung out the entire time in the garage / outside. Now, I don't know if he was afraid I was going to roll him or what the case was.
How old was the son, roughly?
Well, the guy had to be 65.
Okay.
So the son's 35.
Younger than you, yeah. Okay.
But my thought was, I'm the guy with the cash.
Right, yeah.
If one of us needs to be worried about getting rolled,
it is true.
What am I going to do? Hit you over the head and start running out with boxes of ephemera?
Yeah, and you've known him or knew him through the.
Yeah. I knew of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything happened either which way, someone's getting caught.
Absolutely. So I start looking through the stuff, and he's got stuff piled up. He's got totes. He's got stuff on a table. Whatever, and I just start looking through it, and I start looking through the totes, and I'm going through it very, very quickly because my fingers are freezing. And he's also got stuff inside of envelopes, and on the outside of the envelope says it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, what do you want for everything? He goes, well, you didn't even look at the stuff on this side of the table. I go, oh, there's more? He goes, yeah, you got stuff on this side of the table underneath, and you got stuff down there. I'm like, okay. But he's also got artwork and pictures and framed stuff all over the place too. So I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know what he's selling me.
I just thought of something. You know what you should do from now on? If you should have done this today. Today, remember those glasses you had that look like Coke bottles?
Yeah.
You pull them out and say, "Oh, hold on, these are what are they? The see-through, the X-ray glasses." And you start looking through the table. Okay, I saw it all. Right? Watch your mouth drop. Really? Can they work? Let me have those.
I'll trade them to you for everything here.
Exactly.
But so, and I'm just doing a very fast look because, again, my hands are freezing standing out there. And, and I had said early on to him, and this is very, very important early on, I had said something like about, because the estate sale that I had met, that met him through type deal, I said, I go, they're easy to deal with. They like to sell me everything. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, that's kind of what I was hoping I would do here. Yeah. I go, notice I don't have 3 items I've pulled out so far. I said, I'm intending to buy it all too. I said, I know I'm going to get a better deal that way. I said, but it wouldn't be fair to you if I bought 2 items.
Right.
I want these 2 items. I'll give you $10. I go, because I know paper, you don't. So now you're stuck with everything else. Well, he was an old timer. He used to have a store. He does storage auctions. He knows the guy that does clean out, yada, yada, yada. And I looked through the things, and I still wasn't sure what I was buying because I didn't know if I was buying the pictures. I really, truly didn't know because he had speakers on the table, and I knew I wasn't buying the speakers.
You wouldn't want to buy the speakers.
No, I don't want
unless
the
they're like
speakers.
Bose or something.
Yeah, I don't want the
Sony.
speakers. So I'm not exactly sure even what I'm buying at this point. And I said, I don't know, what do you want? He goes, well, I kind of was hoping. I go, I don't know. I go, you got so much stuff here. I said, I really don't know. He goes, well, to be honest, I had a number in my head before you came over. Okay. And tell me what you'd have done in this situation, Mr. Magazine.
I would have said, tell me your number.
Well, yes. I'm leading up to that.
Yeah.
He goes, $1,000. So what would you have done, Mr. Magazine?
I would have taken everything.
Yep. And there are people out there, people with other channels, people out there that would say negotiate. It wasn't a bad deal. I don't know what I bought. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what I bought. But it wasn't a bad deal because I saw enough stuff and I saw enough good stuff. Like there was a tote in there that had a lot of autograph stuff in it. There was enough good enough stuff when I was going through it that I know I'm going to make money on the deal.
Right.
Number one. Number two, what am I going to come back at that isn't going to offend him?
Yeah, I mean,
that I'm going to get the price where I come back at $900, I'm paying $950.
Right.
So
500 is insulting. You might be able to get him for $7, but then again, he knows people. Like you want to, if this guy gets more stuff or something, who knows? You want to, be on his freaking phone dial.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just said, all right, I can do that. So I gave him the $1,000.
Now here's a potential problem that could have happened. Say he thinks the stuff's worth $10,000 and he goes $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000.
Then I wouldn't have bought it. No.
Well, you wouldn't even look through it any further because there could have been a gem in there. That's my point. Like,
well,
what number would you look through more to say? I was hoping to spend $500 to $1,000. Now he wants $2,000. I better look through more stuff because that's probably what I would. I know it sucks that it's cold out, but it's probably what I would have done more digging or pulled out the autographs and said maybe there's a $500 autograph in there. Who knows?
Right. I think I would have asked him at that point. I would have said, what's the really good item in here? And let him lead me to what he thinks the best item is.
I do that sometimes too. Like, hey, pull out your top 5 items. I'll look those up and then get a feel for everything else.
Right, because again, the other thing too is he knows what was in those bins. I don't, because he put the bins together.
Sure.
I mean, and I was doing a quick look at it. But here's where it's going to pay off. I gave him the $1,000, and he said, can you handle another load like this like next week or 2 weeks? I go, give me a couple of weeks. All right, I'm going to get in touch with my buddy who does the cleanouts. He's got a bunch of stuff as well. So I think I passed the test.
Yeah.
I was easy to deal with.
Well, I hope you told him the stuff I collect.
I told him records and adult magazines.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Right. Good. There we go.
But again, I passed the test, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it came down to was, maybe I paid $100 more than I wanted to pay.
Right, but now you got a new deal coming that could be even better. Whereas, if, say you do 500 and you're firm with it, some people would do that and they would still get it. But then the guy's like, "Oh God, I feel ripped off," or this or that or something. All you need is one. All you need is one person telling, "Oh, that's too." You filled up his whole car with, and this stuff was from the 1920s, whatever. Then forget it. You're done. So that's perfect.
Yep, absolutely. Now comes the other funny part is, he goes, I'll back your Rogue up. Well, he's got his trailer and his truck in the driveway, and I don't have any depth perception. And he said, Brian, I'll help you load the car. I go, well, maybe Brian can do me another favor and back my car in because I don't have any depth perception.
Yeah.
So Brian's trying to back the car in, can't even get over the driveway to get it in the car. The dad's going, what is Brian doing? What is that kid doing? What is he doing? He's got to straighten those wheels out. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Thank God I wasn't the one doing that. So he ended up getting the car pulled in right.
No backup cam? You need to get one then if you don't.
No, I do, but it was all
because they usually have lines and it tells you it gets
all
yellow.
frosted over.
Oh, okay.
Because of the cold.
Gotcha.
So then we go to load the car, and he goes, is it all going to fit? I go, it's going to all fit. We got the car loaded, and I ended up telling him, well, I got room for more. Do you have a postcard? And he was laughing about that. The funny thing about it, one of the items I bought, and I made Mr. Magazine go outside to look at this because it's very, very funny. It was a piece of art of a nude woman. Well, the way we had it sitting in the car, just because we literally had to get everything in and had to stack stuff on top, the back hatch barely closed. Like when I got in the car, it had the thing on that it wasn't closed all the way. I had to go back out because all I need is that stuff flying all over the place.
Can you imagine that?
So I went back out and I was able to just shove it closed enough.
Yeah.
The doors were all closed. I couldn't see out the rearview mirror. Things were piled all the way up in the back. The seat there is all filled up with stuff. We got the painting in front of it. Well, the painting is of a nude woman. So there's a painting of a nude woman sitting in the passenger seat. As I said to the guy, I go, well, if there's a high occupancy lane, carpool lane, I'll be able to go through it. But as I'm driving home, all that was going through my head is, what if a cop is sitting there and he looks over and he sees a naked woman in the passenger seat, and that pulls me over, and then I have to go and explain why I've got this stuff all loose packed all around the car, probably illegally.
Yeah.
Would be a great rambling story of the week.
Yeah.
I get a $500 fine for unsafe driving and have to get a trailer or something on the side of the road because you can't drive it home with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was interesting. It was, there's going to be good stuff in there. I am certain of it. I am going to make money. There's no doubt at all about that. I wouldn't have done the deal otherwise. Again, would I be happier if paid less? Yes, obviously. You know, obviously you want to pay less. But with it being the first deal as well, at this point now, he knows that I'm a serious buyer of the stuff that he has, and he'll pass it on along as well. And that was another thing, too, is, as Mr. Magazine said, I did get my name passed along by somebody else. Well, that person vouched for me as well.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is, well, I was thinking $80. How about $100?
Yeah. And then he would tell you, you screwed my buddy. You know, and then he won't give you any more leads. You know. So.
Yep, absolutely. And again, like Mr. Magazine, if the guy had said $5,000, we're not even in the same ballpark. It's nice stuff. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But this guy, again, was an old timer. He'd been doing it for years. He knew what the game was as far as, you know, you got to leave me some room too.
Sure. Yeah.
And he understood as well that I'll be coming back in the future as well. So I'll be doing videos, I'm sure, in the future with some of the stuff. I can think of one thing that I did see there that'll be a future item of the week. So a lot of neat stuff. Interesting. And again, not the way that a lot of people would deal, but it's the way that Mr. Magazine and I have dealt throughout the years, and we find that it works really, really well for us. Because we build that network up. And when you are willing to take it all and you're willing to pay their price, you get lots and lots of calls.
Sure.
I mean, don't overpay. Don't just buy stuff just because.
Right.
But as long as they understand that you have to make money and they leave you money and they're realistic about things, it works out really well for all parties involved. And now I've got a guy that goes to the storage locker auctions looking for stuff to sell to me.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the storage locker auctions. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, cool.
So do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.